Hello all of you wrestling fans. It's time for my bragging rights predictions. I've been away once again for about a month due to me having several other things to attend to, and I've also been away on a vacation. But I'm here to deliver my bragging rights predictions after watching last night's Monday Night Raw, the Go Home Raw episode for bragging rights, and I think they tried to make the Raw vs SmackDown feud seem like almost a battle of nations. They had Hornswoggle the Mascot with a flag, and they had this big war in the Battle Royal, which Big Show and Edge won for the SmackDown brand. WWE has really been looking to book Raw and SmackDown strong over the last 5 to 6 weeks. They've turned up the volume all the way back since May, June, when the Nexus arrived, I think, and they delivered a good show. It will be interesting to see what happens on SmackDown, which apparently will have both ends of the Raw and SmackDown brand there, maybe, I don't know, because Randy Orton is supposed to face Kane on that very show. If I heard that right, that's champion versus champion. And then we go for the Raw vs SmackDown pay-per-view on Sunday, Bragging Rights 2010. WWE also aired a video, and now it's gonna stirred a lot of controversy, I think, among the YouTube so-called internet experts. If experts means the right to whine and complain because I know everything. This was the stand up for the WWE video, which been uploaded onto YouTube as well, with Vince McMahon urging the fans to stand up for the WWE due to the Linda McMahon versus Blumenthal run for the government, and where Blumenthal has apparently said some disparaging thing about the WWE. Now, a lot of people are going to say that there's not much to stand up for with the WWE, and you don't need to like the WWE, and people are also going to get very annoyed and pissed off at the PG logo that appeared first off in this video. Now, WWE is a PG product, there ain't much you can do about it, and some people out there claim that the WWE is so egoistical for being rated PG, and that they don't care about their old fans and yada 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 yada. We've heard it 1,000 times, it's old by now, it's so repetitive, it just goes in here, out there, it's old stuff. Thing is also, however, I would say that the fans, I mean, there is a single fan of these whiners and complainers out there that are more egoistical than the WWE, because all they care about is that they themselves get entertained, that I get entertained, that I love what I see, that I get TV 14, and what's even more sickening among these fans is that they blame and curse the kids, the parents, because they are not supposed to watch the WWE. I am, and I am, no one else. And if that isn't egoistical and almost maniacal, so tell me about it. So face it, WWE is a PG product, and what's to do with it? Now, some people, as I said, you're not urged and not forced to like the WWE, but at least present some constructive arguments and be thoughtful and be smart about it. Now, it is a common knowledge, it's a scientific knowledge, it's a knowledge of physiological matters that the human brain, as it's constructed, mainly with the temporal lobes, aren't fully developed, isn't ready, isn't finished, isn't completely mature before you are about somewhere around 20 to most normally 25 years old. When you're 25 years old, somewhere around there, your brain is fully matured in temporal lobes, and the temporal lobes with the ventral systems and all are the centers for being able to fully comprehend things, to be able to understand the semantics of the language, to understand differences in how you pronounce and evaluate things with the words you choose when you say something. And it's also the center where you're able to memorize, draw parallels, compare things fully, and simply to fully understand what's going on around you, and where you're able to transfer things from the short term to the long term in memory. That's the temporal lobes. And now remember, that area in the brain isn't fully, as I said, mature and developed until you're about 25 years old. So all these people, which is logic, because the most of these ranters, the most of these idiots who just lambast and rant without an ounce of constructivistic thoughts, they are about 18, meaning they are clearly not knowing what to do, knowing what to say, knowing how to evaluate stuff. I don't say that as a thing to demote these people, because I was the same. If I look back to when I was 18 years old, I was an idiot. I might still be an idiot, but I was an even bigger idiot back then. I didn't have a clue about much anything. So that's how it's worked. So for all you YouTubers out there, if you hear someone rant, you can most of the times bet your ass that the person is below 25 years old and therefore haven't got a fully developed brain. That's how sad it is. And I don't say that people under 25 are idiots, not at all, but take it for what it's worth. And as long as these people don't show an ounce of humility and being humble, don't expect them to be right about anything. Because it's, I say in Chinese, that the person who thinks he knows it all and sees it all, he has got a lot to learn. And and the more sure a person seems about anything, the more uncertain he probably is under the surface. With that being said, and with that physiological lecture, I'm about to make my predictions for the Bragging Rights pay-per-view, which will start off with the first match that was announced for the pay-per-view, which was Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett, where Wade Barrett, surprisingly in my mind, won the Battle Royal with the help of John Cena. Now this storyline from Hell in a Cell has gone on a lot further than I ever thought it would. John Cena is in a deathlock with the Nexus. He is in a tough spot. He has to do whatever Wade Barrett says, and he has his hands tied, more or less. So I had to help Wade Barrett win the Battle Royal, which he did. And therefore, Wade Barrett will now face Randy Orton, and I think still that Randy Orton will retain, and that the mission of Wade Barrett and the Nexus taking over the WWE will go on for a couple of more months, maybe highlighting at WrestleMania. At one point Triple H might come back to help fend off the Nexus once he is done with the feud with Sheamus, as I see as his premier focus when he comes back to end up the feud with Sheamus, as Sheamus was the guy who put Triple H on the sidelines at Extreme Rules. Randy Orton retains in this match. Then we have Kane versus The Undertaker. Now this is a tough one. The Undertaker come back this past Friday on SmackDown, looked extremely strong. Got one over on Kane and Paul Bearer, the revenge from Hell in a Cell, where Paul Bearer, not so surprising perhaps, turned his back on The Undertaker. If we remember what happened at Great American Bash in 2004, The Undertaker buried Paul Bearer in cement, sacrificing him, seeing him as the weak link, so he had to get rid of him. Paul Bearer is back, and this is a tricky part because I can see it both ways. Kane gonna win one more against The Undertaker, putting him out, burying him alive, people finally believing that The Undertaker is put to rest. Then he might be away for a couple of months, rest up his body, come back for WrestleMania with the final showdown being there, and with the loser probably being Kane, possibly leaving the WWE and retiring at that stage. We could also see The Undertaker win and get the title and finally getting one up on these two gentlemen in Kane and Paul Bearer. But I don't think so. I think Kane will win again. He will have one up. It's very interesting to see what happens this week on Friday Night SmackDown, but I think Kane will win. We also have the Team Raw versus Team SmackDown match. They also added Danny Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler, which I think was good. I really saw that coming. They need one more match because right now it's two, and that's a potential draw between Raw and SmackDown. So with that in mind, I'd say that we have a 3-on-3 Divas match as well, and that match, I think SmackDown will win again. I'd say Daniel Bryan beats Dolph Ziggler, with the commotion going on between Vicky Guerrero, Caitlyn, and Dolph Ziggler. That will cause some sort of distraction. Daniel Bryan will win, make Dolph Ziggler tap out, and I think that then that will make, I can be completely wrong, because that would make that if there's a 3-on-3 Divas match, that the SmackDown Divas will win. That's 1-1, as I believe the 7 versus 7 match will be the crucial part of this series of matches between Raw and SmackDown. It's an adjacent thought, and I think, no, I I have to say the other way around. I say Dolph Ziggler wins for Raw, for SmackDown, the IC champ. Then the Divas win for Raw. Then Team SmackDown wins. They look very solid. I think SmackDown will win again. Also, I think Natalya Neidhart will beat Michelle McCool. It's time for her to get a title, and I hope they finally get some proper time for a Divas match. Not like at SummerSlam where Melina versus Alicia Fox got cut short. They had something really good going, and then poof, abruptly they ended that match. So I hope that Natalya wins, and we get a about 10-minute Diva match or something like that. So that's the focus of this video. The uneducated and undeveloped brain of the stupid 15-year-olds and the bragging rights predictions. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Share your thoughts as well.